Welcome back to Prairie Wings. I'm Merl, and today what I'd like to do is do a real quick video on how to get an outer race out of something like this. It's difficult to get out sometimes. My buddy's working in the shop with me. He's actually doing his own project with the transmission, but what he came across is this is the input shaft housing on a transmission. So we have a bearing or a release bearing that rides on here, and we have a bearing that was pressed into here. So this outer race. And I have a lot of tools. I have a press, everything. I could actually use some tools to get this out, but one easy way to get this out is a trick that I learned a lot of years ago. And I have a decent, really good sized welder, and it doesn't matter what you got to do, but this bearing was in here, and he asked me, how are we going to get that out? And so it isn't where I can just lift this in and out by finger. We had to just tap it a little bit to get it out, but if you look really close in here, this was in there, and we protected all the surfaces with the old gasket actually. And I told him just put a good weld inside this thing. And so he ran this weld in here, and then what you do if you're doing this is you walk away from it, like come back the next day. It has to be where you can pick it up and it feels cool, like room temperature cool. And so anyway, what happens with this is this housing here, it actually, when you heat this up with a weld, this housing is restricting its growth, because when you heat it up, it really wants to expand. And with this housing holding it, it can expand out, so it actually grows thicker and expands all in. And you can see the heat marks on the back of it from the weld. So it expands, and then when it cools down, because it was restrained on the outside, it's going back, trying to go back to its normal shape, but it's been restrained expansion. So it doesn't, it actually shrinks back and it gets loose in there. So it's pretty simple old trick. If you heat this up with a torch, propane torch or anything like that, you're gonna end up heating up this whole housing. So the quickest way to flash heat this is grab your MIG welder, stick welder, whatever it is, and throw some weld in there. You don't want to build up a whack of weld in there, because you end up heating up the whole housing and you're going to expand it as well. You want a simple weld all the way around, let it expand, walk away till it's cold, and then give it a little bit of tappity tap, and it's going to come out for you. Hopefully this helps you out if you're dealing with a bearing, a race that's in there. And if you're dealing with a bearing that won't come off, you can also use that trick as well, because it will shrink it off. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.